Hello everybody, welcome to the Political Vigilante. My name is Graham Elwood. This Saturday, Stay in Your Lane comedy show, December 22nd at the Corbin Bowl. Ron Placone is on the show, Raja Michaels is on the show, my friend Jim Bruce is on the show. A little bit of a progressive lean to this month's Stay in Your Lane show. That's at grahamelwood.com. And of course, Florida, we're coming to you next month. Very close, we're less than a month away. Ron Placone and I, Progressive Comedy Tour, January 9th, Gainesville, January 10th, Coral Gables, the 11th, Orlando, the 12th, Jacksonville. We've added new dates now, San Antonio, Boise, DC. All of those dates are at grahamelwood.com. Check it out. We've added Lafayette, Louisiana. We have New Orleans. We have Pensacola. Bunch of great shows. Make sure you're there because we like getting cool, intimate venues, and the tickets typically sell out. So get your tickets now. And you know, it's rock venues and night different. You know, we're going outside the system, man. We're not playing, you know, the game. We're doing it our way. We're doing our own ticketing in most of the places, and it's just Ron and I. And we're getting local. Nico House is opening up for us down in Coral Gables next month. So it's a cool thing. Please go to grahamelwood.com and get your tickets now. Supporting live comedy, it's awesome. These are crazy times, and we all as progressives can get a little bummed out. You come out to the show, you laugh your ass off, and there's other people there and activist groups and all that stuff. So it's an awesome night out. Another great way to support the show is to go to patreon.com/Graham Elwood, and you can submit articles like Lauren D'Alessandro did. This article is from MarketWatch. The full article is in the show notes below. More than half of Americans say they didn't get a pay raise this year. What? Well, sure, I'm sure the CEOs all cut their salaries to trickle it down to their employees, right? Because that's what a responsible, ethical, moral leader of a company would do, is gladly give it to their workers, because without the workers, you don't have a business. I'm sure they did that. We'll get into the article. I mean, I'm sure it says that. More than 60% of Americans say they didn't get a pay raise at their current job or get a better paying job in the last 12 months, according to a survey released Wednesday from finance site Bankrate.com. Meanwhile, executives have seen a surge in compensation. What? Am I reading that correctly? I find that hard to believe. CEOs are some of the best people that this world has to offer. According to an August study from the Economic Policy Institute, the average chief executive officer at the 350 largest firms in the U.S. received $18.9 million. Let's read that one again. $18.9 million in compensation in 2017. The study showed a 17.6% increase over 2016. Thank God they're getting more. I mean, this is like barely $18.9 million a year. I mean, I'm not complaining, but it's like, it's hard to, 18.9? Thank God they got the increase. I mean, who cares about these animals? But thank God these people got more, because, thank God. That's less than 18.9. I don't even want to do the math on that. God. It is not easy having a private jet and vacation homes and several cars and sending your kids to private school so they can learn how to be rich assholes. That's not easy. Country club memberships are not cheap, guys. So let's keep that in mind, okay? Rolls Royces don't just drive themselves. You have to have a driver. You're not going to drive your own Rolls Royce like some kind of, like a hobo or something. I don't know. Like if you're gonna drive your own Rolls, why don't you just, jump on boxcars and travel around the country like some sort of gypsy hobo? Anyway, I'm glad they're squared away. Despite these disparities, 91% of Americans say they have the same or greater confidence in the job market than they did a year ago, according to Bankrate.com. All right, Bankrate. Are you sure this isn't just your statistic? This is a big number. 60% of Americans, that's roughly, close to 200 million people. If 200 million people are going to read this statistic, they're going to be pretty mad. So maybe it was in Bankrate's best interest to put up this statistic. I have a question about this one. I mean, if 91% of Americans still have confidence, okay, that's American know-how, and we're told we live in a country where we do get to, if you work hard, and there are a lot of opportunities in this country that large portions of the world don't have. But I'm going to put a big fat maybe next to this Bankrate.com, because Bankrate.com, not exactly a socialist website. They don't want people, I'm sure their CEO is one of the many CEOs that gets $18.9 million a year. And if Bankrate responds to this, I'm sure they'll be like, our CEO only gets 10 million, Graham. Well below the average. God, how do you survive on $10 million? If there's CEOs out there making $10 million, I don't, like, what do you got to be eating cat food, probably. Drinking your own urine. I don't know how else you survive on less than $10 million a year. Ugh, gross. Just thinking about $10 million a year. Ugh. You probably have to wear the same underwear every day or something. Ugh, gross. Probably have to cook their own food. Can you imagine, like, going in a kitchen and cooking and not having a chef to make your, oh God, just thinking about it, I can't even, I'm sorry, I've gotten sidetracked, you guys. I'm so sorry. 10 million a year. God, animals. The result of trickle-down economics is plain to see in this survey. Melissa Botek, Senior Vice President of the Poverty to Prosperity Program at the Center for American Progress. I bet you she doesn't make 18.9. How many people running non-for-profits make, if you run a non-for-profit, you should have a decent six-figure income. I would assume it's a lot of work in business, but they're not making 10 or 18 million or whatever. The people at the top are getting richer and richer every day. Working families are not getting their fair share. Yet everyone in the media tells you how great the economy's doing, and the stock market's going through the roof. If you got to drive for Lyft or Uber to supplement your other job, you got to have a side hustle. How many stocks are you buying? Bankrate.com, 91%. I'm sure. Yeah, everyone's just, it's great. Things are great. Though several states and some companies, including Amazon, have moved to increase the minimum wage. Well, let Amazon. Now, who pressured Amazon? Bernie Sanders did. You remember Bernie Sanders, the person that all the Hillary supporters said he could never have beaten Trump? Giving people $15 an hour, which he pressured Disney and Amazon to do that gets people to vote for you, by the way. Calling them deplorables doesn't. Just a thought. I'm just off the top of my head. The federal minimum wage has been $7.25 since 2009. Now, California is a state that is above this. We moved our minimum wage to $11 an hour, and it's going to gradually go to $15. And $11, you can't live on $11 an hour in the state of California. Maybe some real small town, maybe, probably not. Studies show a $15 wage is the minimum amount needed to keep low-wage workers out of poverty. That's what $15 an hour does. It doesn't like, oh, I have this amazing, it just keeps you out of poverty. Because currently, if you take the minimum wage, whatever it is, the states like California that are above the federal minimum wage, there are 0 states where working 40 hours a week at a minimum wage job, you can pay your bills. So good people like the Bushes and Reagan and Clinton, they shipped all these jobs overseas with nonsense like NAFTA and the TPP that Obama did. Like, these are awful globalist, and they always tell you the market will correct. No, it'll correct for the billionaire, Rich Hill. The CEO's making 18.9. It'll correct for them. These people can weather a downturn. You know, Bill Maher said, I hope the economy crashes just so Trump gets out of there. Bill Maher can say that because the economy won't, if it crashes, it won't hurt him. Tens of millions of people are going to be really affected by the next downturn. And it's coming. I'm sorry to say, it's everything that I'm reading, it's showing that it's coming. I'm worried about it. I make most of my money from Patreon. Are people going to stop going to comedy shows if there's another crash? I don't know. Am I going to be able to make a living? I don't know. Bill Maher will. Rachel Maddow will. Sean Hannity will. Chelsea Clinton will. Ivanka Trump will. The Obama girls will. The Bush girls will. Those kids will all keep making money. You and I, probably going to get jammed. The cost of living has increased in recent years, with consumer inflation hitting a 6-year high in July of this year. Six-year high. Now, Trump supporters are going to say it's because of Obama and Trump's going to fix it. Obama supporters or Democrat neoliberals are going to say it's all Trump's fault. It's both parties have been sticking it to us, man. Come on. Obama didn't do shit. Neither did Bush. They let the banks do whatever they want. They gave them hundreds of billions of dollars, and they didn't prosecute a single person. Obama passed Dodd-Frank, which is like nothing. It's nothing. It's nothing. It's putting plastic handcuffs on a fucking serial killer. It's nothing. Pay raises and landing a higher paying job continue to be the exception rather than the rule, even in a strong economy with low unemployment. Well, again, this is the cooking the books unemployment. If you work just a couple hours a week, you're considered employed. You're not unemployed. You work part-time, you're considered employed. You pass, I forget what the time frame is, but if you're collecting unemployment benefits and those benefits run out and you're still not working, you're not still considered unemployed. And then the corporate media spews this nonsense to tell, the economy's great, stock market's up. This is Greg McBride, Chief Financial Analyst at Bankrate.com. Households seeking income growth are increasingly finding it the old-fashioned way. They earn it, to quote an old TV commercial, usually by working more hours rather than being paid more per hour. Yeah, you want to make more money? You can't get more from your boss because it's all going to the CEO's paycheck, and so they can buy, polo horses and, put swimming pools inside of their private jets, which are things that people need. I mean, it's not a luxury item to have a polo horse. I mean, they're very necessary to have a polo horse. I mean, you've got to have a helicopter to fly you to your yacht. You're not going to drive to your yacht. I'm sorry, I don't know, that's gross. Just thinking about driving to a yacht versus taking a helicopter is just gross. It's just disgusting. Driving. Ugh, I'm sorry I said it. I hope I didn't offend anybody. Yeah, that's what the rich people tell you. Just get another job, work harder. No, you should have gone to college. Oh, with crushing student loan debt? Is that what's going to... Well, the unemployment rate is decades low 3.7%. It's because they cooked the books, as I said. Wages have struggled to pick up. So the CEOs get a 17.9, almost an 18% increase. Whatever you're making a month or a year, how much would an 18% increase help your life? That's pretty significant. That's almost 20%. You're making $50,000 a year. That's like $8-9 grand a year more. The difference between $50,000 and $58,000 a year, that's pretty significant. That's $8 grand that you could invest, you could put in the bank, you could pay down debt, you could whatever. I don't know, go on a vacation, do something nice, put it back into the economy. But instead they got it. They got it. So guys, thank you for supporting the show. Go to patreon.com/Graham Elwood to support the show. Come to a Progressive Comedy Tour show. Ron and I have dates all the way through June now. We just added Washington, D.C. in June. We're going to be adding a bunch more dates on the East Coast tour. We've got San Antonio. We've got Fort Worth. We've got Houston. We're going to add Austin. We just added Boise in May. I mean, we've got Lafayette, New Orleans, and Pensacola in March. Texas in April. So come on out, you guys. Come to a show. Go to GrahamElwood.com, and you know what happens when you do that, guys? You make Gotham great again. Thanks for watching.